Picture this. You've been marched into your head teacher's office, sat down on a hard wooden chair pointed at their desk, with nothing but the sound of your own heartbeat to keep you company. And that sinking feeling that you're in deep trouble, but you don't know what you've done, like when you leave a shop and the alarm goes off, or when your mum says, "I've been cleaning under your bed." The door slams. You wake up, panicked and sweaty, still searching for that reason why you still feel so sick. And that feeling doesn't go, it just fades in and out. But it doesn't go away. That constant sensation of guilt mixed with regret, and the idea that you've really fucked up somewhere along the way. And before you start feeling sorry for these lost boys, as they start complaining that it's not our fault, and why are we getting picked on for something we didn't do? Just don't. They don't need your sympathy. They have fucked up. And whether they like it or not, whether they believe it or not, they are responsible. This is a play about men. Not the borderline serial killer types at one end of the spectrum, or the plastic feminists at the other. No, not perfect men or outright monsters, although they do get a mention. This play is about normal, common, garden, everyday, run-of-the-mill mates that sit somewhere between those two extremes. We know this is complicated, but don't worry, you haven't got to agree. We know we don't know everything, but don't worry, we borrowed most of the words from people who do. We know you will get it wrong, but don't worry, this is theatre. What do you expect? Time for your short tour through the spectrum of modern masculinity. Buckle up. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Welcome to Nice Guys. But I don't see your pretty face no more. I just want to be free from your love, but even though I keep trying, I still keep coming upside down.
Hello, I'm Charlie. Pleased to meet you, everyone. I'm here to create a sense of comfort and put you at ease. How are you feeling? Are you feeling comfortable? Is anyone not at their ease? Well, that's great. I'm also here to introduce you to the first character. He's called Sam. Sam lives around here with his brother and his dad. He's 19, like me, used to go to the local state school. Unlike me, I went to the local private school, but this is the arts, so don't act surprised. He's just finished his first term at uni. He's back home with the parents, and to continue the freedoms he's become accustomed to away from home, he's chosen to spend his first weekend back in a Wetherspoons. He's on his fourth pint of Staropramen, and he is swiping right on everyone, including the gays, just to see what response he gets. Sam is a nice guy. The kind of nice guy who uses nice deeds as a currency for sexual activity. As in, I'll scratch your back, you suck my cock. He's feeling confident. Or at least he's feeling not unconfident. And that's enough to work with.
Yeah, man, yeah, that ball, yeah, that man, yeah, fucking hello! On a scale of 1 to America, how free are you tonight?
It's about 5 minutes from Spoons to the club, so he finishes his drink, says goodbye to his brother's mate, and makes a move.
Chris! Oi, Chris! I'm off unit! We'll see you in
It won't be the same vibe as the student union, but it's too early to call it a night, and it might be a laugh. He also hasn't had sex since freshest week, and he feels like his recent track record leaves a lot to be desired.
Well, that bouncer's a racist prick.
When he gets to the club, he sets himself up with a vodka Red Bull, energy drink to keep him awake, vodka to lower his inhibitions. He'd have a whiskey, but after the rugby social, he officially considers whiskey to be an erection killer. He didn't break his dry spell that night, but
Tonight will be different.
the self-assured, cocksure version of Sam takes the wheel. He heads out onto the dance floor like a boxer climbing through the ropes and sees a few girls that he went to college with.
Sweet.
One of them
Lucy.
had been paired with him on a psychology presentation, and they almost got it on. He catches the eye of one of the women in the group, and her gaze holds for just that bit longer than a passing look. He's in. She's unconventionally sexy with a gothy, nerdy kind of vibe, which is cool because while Sam is not fluent in the language of geek, he speaks enough for a tourist.
Wish me luck.
He sees her crossing the dance floor to get to the bar and decides to move in.
Hi! You're out with Lucy and that, aren't you?
She smiles at Sam and nods. It's hard to tell in the dim light, but he thinks she might be blushing.
Yeah, I was in their year. Come to the bar, I'll get you a drink.
She's definitely blushing now. She falls over her words as she replies.
Who? Oh, you with him? Oh, yeah, cool. Don't worry about it, no. Tell Lucy that Sam will be over in a bit.
She smiles politely and heads off to the bar.
Fuck.
He has three options. Approach the group and take a punt on one of the other women and come off as a creep. Approach the group and appear uninterested in the hope that one of the women will naturally drift towards him across the course of the night. Or just fuck off.
This is bullshit.
He goes for the third option and heads out to the smoking area.
Stand you sick cunts.
He turns round.
Say that again, bum boy.
It's Kyle, his best mate from school, who he hasn't had the chance to see for nearly a year. Truth be told, since Kyle took the plastering apprenticeship, they've had less to talk about.
Hey, man.
Their dicking about has now been replaced with uncomfortable silences that are growing and growing in length. Although they still do anything for one another at a moment's notice, their conversations are now limited to laughing at the same school stories they used to laugh about.
Fuck me. Remember when you was half screaming in Mr. Evans' face when that massive fart fell out of me? Yeah, who was that? You were just losing it completely. Oh, how the fuck I held my laughter together as he's looking up Megan seriously, demanding an answer? I have no idea. I remember at the most random times then, I have to be like, sorry, I just remembered me farting. It's impossible to explain why it's so funny.
Awkward pause.
Oh man, Lucy Richards is here. And she's brought some proper talent out with her. You seen the one in the Slytherin jumper? She was all over me just now. Literally had to be like, mate, don't you have a boyfriend? Not that I wouldn't give her the 9 3/4 and ride her up the Hogwarts Express, but I just know she'd be that kind of girl that you bang once and then they think that means something.
Kyle is vaping smoke signals to all around him. Smell my butterscotch, hear me roar.
But anyway, we need to hang soon, bro. Let me know what you're doing about that Villa game next week. Text me. Oh.
Sam goes back inside, knowing that it's the time of the night where if you haven't already pulled, you need to be on the dance floor. Something he calls mopping up to friends like Kyle, the long game when explaining it to women, and failing to himself. No luck.
Fuck my life.
Our hunter will just have to return to his cave empty-handed. But at least the walk home will give him some time to think.
I've got it! I'm getting a kebab.
Now, whilst walking home alone is obviously not as good as when you're taking someone home with you, at least you've dodged past the casual sex minefield. You never know when monogamy is going to wrestle you to the ground. One blink and you are posting baby pictures with the wall hang that reads, live, love, laugh behind you. And a countdown to divorce running in your eyes.
Fuck that shit!
Too right, Sam. Fuck that shit.
Look at him. Just a little boy wearing adult clothes in a world where every rule book he grew up with turned into a joke book. He loves his Sunday dinners, loves his footy, loves his nan. I don't know what he's doing wrong. He's just doing what he's told. He's a good lad. This is just what boys are like. It's the way men are. And like that, he's forgiven.
How you doing, sweetheart? Excuse us one sec. Let me just give your seat a good old clean. I'm gonna wear your legs like a scarf.
And we're back. Despite the fact we all know it's bullshit, we've been lying to ourselves for so long, it's easier to accept than deny. Fuck rational thought. Where's the comfort in that? This is the way men are. What can you do?
Drink, wherever you may be. We are the boys from the rugby team, and we don't give a shit, and we don't give a fuck. We're all going home with a dirty slut.
Right, don't get me wrong, he's not a complete monster. You know, this is one of the good ones. You know where you stand with this guy? This nice guy. Rack 'em up, boys. Now, we promised you a short tour through the spectrum of modern masculinity, and after one short stop in the pretty shitty end of town, it's time to see more sights. This is our indiscriminate list of 10 types of nice guy. Try not to spoil yourself. Nice guy number 1, the feminist ally.
Not a feminist, a feminist ally. A man who realises that to wear the label feminist is to assume he has the same lived experience as a woman. He also sees the contradiction of asserting a position of authority and dominance in a movement for women's rights. And they've got beards.
I am a work in progress, and I have every intention of becoming a man that is helpful and non-obstructive to the liberation of women.
Nice guy number 2, the traditional man.
Be born, be a baby, be a kid, be a big kid, be an adolescent, be a young man, work, drink, fuck, repeat, work, drink, fuck, repeat, get married, get divorced, get a pension, get a bus pass, golf, die. I don't expect any feelings or the chance that he'll discover that he likes to finger off the bum during sex.
There's a cheap deal on weddings at that hotel. You're like, you want to get married or what?
Nice guy number 3, the spawner sexual.
Think those David Beckham ads of old in which his attributes were possibly artificially enhanced. The spawner sexual has photoshopped himself in real life. They want to look like sportsmen. They want to look like porn stars. Metrosexuals wanted love. Spawner sexuals just want sex.
Oh, tune the next cunt that uses my concealer. Do you know how much this fucking cost?
Nice guy number 4, the player.
The player is a man whose life purpose is to have sex with as many people as possible. He doesn't date women, he collects them, but he exudes so much charm that it eclipses the bit of him you should be a bit more wary of. A wild player's diet consists of your time, your money, and azithromycin. The tablets used to treat chlamydia.
Oh my god, it's like we have the same mind. I love their lesser known albums too. Do you want to fuck?
Nice guy number 5, the Reddit nice guy.
The self-identifying nice guy. He thinks that choosing to communicate with a woman on the internet in a way that is nice, i.e. polite and considerate, entitles him to much more in return. Doesn't take him long to show his true colours.
Read your bio, you seem cool. Oh, please reply. You seem so cool, you deserve a good guy. Why won't you reply? I'm thinking about cutting myself. I love you. Fine. I hope you get cancer, you fucking whore.
Nice guy number 6, the men's rights activists.
Where women's rights activists use their time to blog about social justice, attend political protests, and do anything they can to empower men and women, men's rights activists prefer to pull apart the work that feminists do from behind the safety of the MacBook Pro their mummies and daddies bought for them.
Statistically, men are more likely to go to prison than women for violent crimes. How's that for female privilege?
Nice guy number 7, the pickup artist.
Not to be confused with the player. The pickup artist is a man who hates women, yet constantly pursues them for sex using coercive techniques such as harassing, gaslighting, and something called negging, which is the undermining of a woman's self-esteem through backhanded compliments known as negative pickup lines, making the woman more likely to seek validation through sex with the pickup artist.
Hey, if you wore better clothes and a bit more makeup, you could easily be a 6 or 7.
Nice guy number 8, the incel.
Incels inhabit the murkier end of the manosphere, where their feelings of inadequacy are validated and then distorted into feelings of hatred towards women. Women they call Stacy, men they call Chad or Chang or Tyrone or Javier, depending on their ethnicity, and they're all cucks, failed by society, failed by women, and looking for payback.
You femoid Stacy bitches will have no cup to run to once Chad's done using you.
Nice guy number 9, the true self.
These are the fundamentalists of male supremacy, with all the violent fancies you'd expect, and the Matrix as the model through which they interpret the world. For them, whoa, I've had too much to drink. For them, if you don't sign up to their perceived oppression, you're a blue pillar, oblivious to the truth, and those who do sign up to their oppression are red pillars, who see the world for what it really is.
I wouldn't go near her, Stacey. Let's also throw acid on her. Stigmatizing sluts.
And finally, nice guy number 10, the Omega Rager.
Omega rages are what true selves become when their fantasies spill over into real life. Violence, rape, murder, and mass shootings are the top picks for the true cell wanting to graduate to the Omega Rager status and reach the top of the incel hierarchy. That's if they don't turn the gun on themselves before it goes that far.
All I ever wanted was to love women, and in turn for them to love me back. Their behaviour towards me has only earned my hatred, and rightfully so. I am the true victim in all of this. I am the good guy.
As strange as it feels to call these guys nice, they are. They hold the doors for people, they say their prayers, they smile at passers-by. They leave politely worded notes explaining their motives and apologising for any spelling mistakes before picking up their guns and murdering innocent people. Scared much? You should be.
Yeah, you know it's been a while, but I don't see your pretty face no more. I just want to be free from your love, but even though I keep trying, I still keep coming outside down. Coming outside down. Coming outside down. Even though I keep trying, I still keep coming outside down.
Hello. I'm Sam. How are you all feeling now? Well, I'm great, thanks for asking. I'd like to introduce the second story. George's story. George's story. He lives up the road with his mum, his dad, his sister, and their 2 cats, both rescues. And he's 21. I'm 20, if you were wondering. He used to go to a pretty shitty school, but he did alright. He did a term at uni, but hated it so much he came back home to his family, his teenage bedroom, and the cats. One is amazing, but the other isn't very friendly, so she can go fuck herself. A few weeks ago, he experienced the kind of self-loathing you only fall into after 17 solid hours on Overwatch, followed by an angry wank. He wandered into an online forum and stumbled upon a Reddit thread called Male Forever Alone, which, despite its many extremes, he recognised something in the thousands of posts that he couldn't stop thinking about. George is a nice guy. The kind of nice guy who is polite to the girl on the till in Tesco, but has seen all her holiday pics on Facebook.
In 1997, a statistics graduate from Carleton University in Ottawa started a website and mailing list for people who were sexually inactive, with the aim of creating a dialogue about the pain that this could cause people and discussing strategies for coping with this. They coined the term incel to describe the people in that community.
I thought I would share with you what happened with me today. Approached by some land whale in town, was making small talk. This 2 out of 10 was acting like she wanted to know what time her bus would come. Low-level flirting and all that. Firstly, if you can't read the fucking timetable, then your best bet is to throw yourself under the bus when it does turn up. It's no excuse that English isn't your first language. Numbers are the same everywhere. Secondly, why should I help you out for nothing? It turns out it really was for nothing. I asked her out only for the 2 out of 10 to reject me, once she'd understood that is. If even women at the bottom of the pile get brainwashed into shallow Chad chasing, then what chance do any of us have? Fucking hell, this guy.
George is familiar with the term Chad. He thinks he knows a few men whose success with women would make them that. He does, however, look up the term land whale, and as expected, it is an incel term for an overweight woman.
After a few years, the person that started the incel community passed on the content of their site to someone they didn't know.
He reposts the comment and adds his own.
Some Chad's probably sticking his harpoon in that land rail right now. Sucks to be him.
His finger hovers between enter and delete.
It wasn't until the Isla Vista killings of 2014 that they discovered what incel had come to mean.
He presses enter, and he's in. Scrolling through pages and pages of stuff, seeing more comments like his, and some that are far more extreme.
Some Stacey has moved into the room above me, and I see her going out at the weekend dressed for clubs. I think she's fucking men. Just one floor and a bit of prison time away from me.
George writes back.
How can you handle her throwing her vagina about under your nose like that? Imagine if you fell in love with her, and she brought back a Chad one day and you had to hear.
George can't quite figure out if he's trying to provoke the guy or gain his approval. It's probably both.
What had started as an internet equivalent of the Lonely Hearts Club had become a cyberspace terrorist factory where men were exacting real violence on women through the hate it was generating.
I'd Elliot Roger both of them. Legend.
British-born Elliot Roger, responsible for the Isla Vista killings where he murdered 6 people before killing himself in a misogyny-fueled shooting spree. His actions are held up as exemplary within the incel community, and he has been canonised in their forums.
The mention of his name quickly spawns more comments.
Do it, dude. She deserves it. Don't worry about prison time. The great ER didn't do any. What's stopping you? She's fucking some guy right now, and you're just letting it happen.
George thinks about that woman from the checkouts. He knows she likes him, she always smiles. He wonders what he'd do if the guy moved in on her, and wonders if they already had.
The incel community had grown into different sects, dismantled everything of its founding purpose, and Elliot Roger had pushed all of it to the front of the media's attention.
George starts a fresh comment.
I used to think that people exaggerated the acts of terrorism perpetrated by these low IQ, left-wing social justice blue pillars. But now I just wish more people would open their eyes and see.
The replies to his comment pour in. This gives George something he doesn't get from the people that ignore him on the train, or from the empty fantasies that he plays out on repeat until the silence of them has etched itself into his brain like a scar. So he writes more.
People investigated the origin of the incel movement down back to the graduate that started it all. Most people expecting it to be a toxic, angry man. What people didn't expect was for it to be made in the hope of helping people. They also didn't expect the person who created it to have been a woman. Imagine that. Your best intentions turned to raw hatred.
Femoids and their cut boyfriends need to know they can't choke our supply of sex forever. Let's face it, the government isn't going to do anything about keeping them in line. So we're going to have to do it ourselves. All feminism proves is that women can't handle control. When they try to take control of themselves, they turn a whole generation of young girls into sluts and roasties.
Roasty, a woman who has, or is presumed to have, a high level of sexual activity. They're called roasty, following the ignorant belief that the more sex a woman has with different men, the more her labia minora supposedly resemble roast beef.
For fuck's sake!
Sex is a human need, and why isn't it a right, like other human needs? You deprive a man of water and food and he'll do something about it. Deprive him of sex and most just turn into cucks.
George's newfound voice is quickly questioned.
Fake cell spotted. What the fuck?
Fake cell, someone impersonating an incel.
I'm relatively new with my account, but I've been a guest on here for 3 months. GTFO, you naughty scum. Read what I've posted and reply on this forum. If you think I'm fake cell, you need your IQ tested.
George knows this feeling, like the people he'd hoped could be different, that might understand everything he feels, are about to walk away from him. He panics.
What do you think makes me different to all of you? I'm the same. I was brought into the same world as you. Just like you, the first stories I heard were about princes with princesses. We were told there was this castle where our queen lives, waiting for us to arrive, for us to give her all of our love, our already perfect love. Just like you, I started as quickly as possible. I hit puberty, I heard the whistle blow that started the race, and I started to run. Do you remember realising that, yeah, this is a race, and I'm not the only one running to this castle, so do I? Do you remember realising that the body you were given wasn't made to run this race? I remember too. I remember realising I wasn't attractive enough or athletic enough to move into the fast lane. That I had to stay in the lane, cluttered by literally hundreds of other boys. And the only way was to fight your way through the slow-moving crowd. You think that wasn't me? That doesn't sound like your world. By the time I reached the castle, the prince had already moved in. I thought, fine. That's not my castle. She's not my queen. But the further I went, the more tired I was of running. And I realised I'd never get to my queen. That all queens have ever wanted, since the day they were born, is a steroid-taking, gym-freak Chad. Femoids are too shallow and too stupid to be anything other than Stacey's. The queens we loved never existed. Why? Because their name's Stacey, and our names aren't Chad. So ban me if you want, but I'm exhausted from running this fucking race. Tired of seeing people that have never had to run being rewarded for having naturally perfect bodies, and not any of the social anxiety that's got in the way of vaginas seeing that I'm straight A's with everything to give. I'm a virgin not because I wanted to be, but because I was tricked into thinking a woman could ever love me. No wonder I fucking hate myself. Femoids are irredeemable. They offer themselves out to all of the Chads like dogs and will never win. So I guess I'm just here with a heart that's too fucked with to run anymore.
George stops typing, hits enter, and breathes all the air out of him. He feels somehow lighter.
Sorry for doubting you, dude. Not been my day. Not been my life.
They're mainly in America, this lot. Mainly, but like most things American, it will come over here eventually. You wait, incels will be set up on Rick and Morty and we will all start using the lingo. Come to the party, you fucking incel. If this airport cube isn't going down, I'm gonna mega rage the fucking place. Oh my god, I'm so normy and I love it. Modern terrorism, ladies and gentlemen, where the perpetrators don't have to meet and the balaclavas don't have to match. All they need to do is establish a hate figure and be consistent. Now, there's only one more stop before our journey is over. And don't worry, we saved the easiest till last. And I'm actually in this one. Who knew? Thank you, boys. But before we dive back in this lovable bunch, I'm going to go get us some snacks to lighten the mood, and we are going to play a game. It's called Check Your Privilege, and don't worry, it's dead easy. We played it in rehearsals. You don't have to put your hand up or say anything out loud. All you've got to do is keep score in your head. We've got another arbitrary list. This time, 5 types of privilege. And if you think you benefit from that privilege in any way, you score a point and you get a snack. See? Told you it was easy, it's just like life. Oh, for the uninitiated.
Privilege is an invisible construct by which people that fit a given demographic can access social, political, and financial statuses, and do so in a way which may be harder or even entirely impossible for people that do not fit that demographic.
Thanks, George. Number 1, male privilege.
The name for the invisible structure that maintains male privilege is the patriarchy. It exists because throughout history, men have forcibly taken control of society's design. If you think you benefit from male privilege, give yourself a point and take a snack. If you didn't score a point, just pass the tray to the next person. Sorry.
Sausage roll.
Anyone want a sausage roll? Yeah, straight. Sausage roll.
Male privilege. You have sausage roll.
That's good sign.
Anyone else? For a sausage roll. Up the back, Charlie. Up the back.
Send it down that way. Is that halal kosher?
No. Sorry. Number 2. White privilege.
If you've never had the realization that in this society, the colour of your skin alone makes some people at best hate you, and at worst, really treat you differently, you probably benefit from white privilege. If any of you think you benefit from white privilege, that's 1 point to you. We're going to need more snacks.
Okay, hands up, you know, you got hands, you got sausages. Okay, anyone around here? I'm going to run up here. Here we go.
Here we go.
Pass it along, pass it along.
I've got cheese and onion.
Perfect, I'm going to go.
Take it off.
Right at the top.
Cocktail sausages, ladies and gents.
I'll go back for those.
Fabulous. Number 3. Economic-based privilege.
This is more about just not being able to afford nice things. This is about people not being surprised when you show honesty and intelligence and selflessness. When people hear the accent and dialect you grew up speaking. You think you benefit from economic-based privilege? Give yourself a point.
Okay, everybody, let's go crazy for sweet and savoury. We've got some cheese and pineapple.
Cheese and pineapple on sticks, ladies and gentlemen.
Cheese and pineapple, cheese and pineapple.
Anyone else?
I can hear some people screaming for some cheese and pineapple. There you go. Cheese and pineapple. There's plenty to go around. That's one. Cheese and pineapple.
Cheese and pineapple. Fabulous.
Once you start, to the glass, everyone needs to get some cheese and pineapple.
And the next one.
Yes.
Ability-based privilege.
You can see ability-based privilege in society's treatment of disabled people. Whether you look at this government's cuts to essential benefits or society's flippant attitude towards their ridicule. Those of you that think you benefit from ability-based privilege, you win a point and a flapjack.
Anyone for a flapjack? Anyone?
Anyone down that end for a flapjack? Gluten-free flapjack. Gluten-free. Where are the other trays? What is that? Exactly. Well, they know all about it, so. Yeah, pass those around. Well, I'm taking it unfinished.
Right, we're going to wrap it up with heterosexual-based privilege.
If you've never had to announce your sexuality to the world, not take your partner's hand because it's the wrong end of town, or been told that your sexuality is just a phase, you probably benefit from heterosexual privilege. Give yourself a point, give yourself a snack.
This is an obscene amount of muffins, so I'm going to need some hands. Anyway, I'm just going to run about. Anyone, hands up.
Anyone for a muffin? Blueberry hot chocolate chip.
Few fingers, there we go.
We've got this week.
Oh, viewer.
Savoury's out the window, isn't it?
Anyone for a muffin?
Holy for muffins.
Oh, don't do
Thanks. Did you get the right number of snaps for the amount of points that you scored? Hey? Or did you share your snacks with the people who had less than you? Or did you sit back and enjoy the benefit of your hard work or good fortune? Look, this game is not designed to suggest that there's something wrong with every form of privilege. It's more to point out the things that you may not realise make your life easier to live every single day.
Well, you know it's been a while. I don't see you anymore. I just want to be free. But even though I keep trying, I still keep coming out second.
Hello! Hello there. George. I'm George. I'm here to introduce you to the third story. The final story. Charlie's story. He lives with two mates from work. He went to an okay school, did okay. He's 20 and on his second gap year. I am also 20 and on my second gap year. If you're interested. Why would you? Anyway, his housemates are away this weekend, so he's taken the rare chance to throw a party. He's invited a load of mates round, and one of them, Molly, has come round a few hours early. Charlie is a nice guy. The kind of nice guy who is nice. And by some random quirk of fate, also happens to be a guy. What are the odds? They're now in Charlie's kitchen and talking about work and girls and Brexit. Sorry if you thought this would be a Brexit-free zone. More fool you.
Well, fuck me. Look what the cat dragged in.
Suck my dick. What?
Oh yeah, you went out on Ethan's birthday. We ended up at Yates's and this row went off. Some bloke and he was absolutely fucking steaming. Just went apeshit. Shoves this hipster into a table and then just starts taking swings at him. The bouncers go piling in and pull him off.
Pull him off?
You what? Shut up. The bouncers go piling in and yank him off.
What kind of bar is this?
You fuck off. They haul him off.
Paul? Sorry, go on. Tell your story.
They run in and drag him off.
Oh, well done.
And he's still trying to get this bloke and, you know, knock the Starbucks out of him. And he's shouting, "You dirty cunt, nicked my baccy! Dirty cunt, nicked my baccy!" Obviously, they chuck the piss bloke out and, you know, make sure the hipster's alright. Clarky comes over with a tray of drinks. We tell him what he's missed. He looks shocked. And then just starts pissing himself. And we're all just like, what? He goes into his pocket and throws down a pouch of baccy on the table and goes, "Yeah, happy birthday, Ethan!" That's Ethan holding the baccy.
Was that Dom in the background?
The fuck do you know Dom?
He's with Loz's brother, like he was with Amy for like 2 years.
Oh shit, yeah. I haven't seen Amy in ages. Yeah, me and Dom go way back. His brother's mates with my brother, so I basically know him my whole life. Remember I told you about my primary school and the tree they planted for the millennium?
Yeah, and someone got the balls trapped in the fencing around it.
That was Dom. Oh, he's honestly the funniest bloke on a night out. When he gets here, you have to call him Morgan Ford.
He's coming tonight.
Yeah, so Dom was in Ibiza, right? He met this guy, Morgan, at a club. He's already wanking, but they had gone on this mad session together, matching each other, drink for drink, and they end up at this after party, right? And there's some woman there with a tattoo gun. He wakes up the next morning with Morgan Ford inked across his chest. He literally doesn't even remember meeting him.
Look, I don't know what you know about Dom and Amy and everything like that, but I've got a friend that works with Dom, and I think he's a fucking disgusting creep.
What?
He works at his dad's factory, right?
Yeah.
Well, he is my mate Yaz's manager. So the other day, he asked her for a hand with some boxes in the walk-in fridge, and they go in. He shuts the door behind her and asks her to put her hands down his pants.
What, really? Was he being serious?
Yeah, Yaz said, look, I've got a girlfriend, but apparently he was being really pushy. Eventually he backed off, but now he's spread loads of shit about her to the other people. And like, his dad's obviously going to back him up, especially with everyone else backing him up. Yaz might lose her job.
Dom's a massive piss take. Are you sure? Maybe he was just winding her up and it's been taken the wrong way.
Yeah, well that's not what Yaz said. Why would she lie?
I don't think she's lying, but, you know, maybe she's got the wrong end of the stick. He does like to push people with the stuff he says.
He told her to put her hands down his pants.
That's nothing like Dom, though.
What? How would you know?
I've known him my whole life.
Yeah, but how do you actually know? Look, if someone wants to get away with doing shit like that, they're not going to do it in front of people who report them, are they? Yaz has a meeting with all of the bosses next week and she might lose her job.
Wouldn't there be cameras?
Yeah, and Dom's dad owns those
It
cameras.
just doesn't sound like him.
Look, you can say you don't think she's lying and you can say you don't think Dom would do that, but which is it? You better make your mind up and quick, because if it's Dom, then I need to find a way to get out of here, because I am not going to be when he turns up.
Hang on.
No!
I'm not being a cunt. I'm just saying that the Dom I know doesn't seem like the kind of guy that would do that and mean it.
Can you hear yourself? Is there anyone else you'd like to apologise for, huh? Kevin Spacey? Harvey Weinstein? Morgan Freeman?
What is Morgan Freeman? Oh, fucking hell.
Say, there you go! Boys Club. Again, you can't stand the idea of a mate or someone you like being a dirty bastard, so you defend them.
What if they haven't actually done it? If people get falsely accused all the time.
They do. You are right. Well done. All men are not predators.
Exactly.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Charlie, you're hearing what you want to hear.
I'm not.
Yeah, you are. Right, think of it like this then. Okay. Donald Trump gets accused of being a racist, right? And all the people that like him say, no, he's not a racist, he's not a racist. And then he denies it, and the same thing then starts happening again, right? And he says, I'm the least, most racist person you'll ever meet. They all cheer, and off we go again. Look, it doesn't matter how many times you deny it. If you keep being accused of racism, you're probably a fucking racist. Look, what I'm saying is, the Yaz that I know has just no reason to make that shit up. And what you've just actually said is you don't think she's lying, but you think Dom would do that, but you don't think he'd mean it. So who's lying here?
I'm gonna text Dom and tell him he can't come tonight. Or ever again. Mol, I didn't mean for
Hey,
it.
come on, just do it. Just do it.
He just does it. He accepts that he should avoid the immoral decision that he was fully prepared to take. Like too many men in history, there was a deep sense of achievement just for not fucking up. Like loudly proclaiming to your mates that you can't stay at the pub because you're babysitting for the missus. Well, they're your kids too, dickhead. Technically, that's not babysitting, that's being a parent.
What are you thinking about?
Morgan Freeman.
Oh, don't start that again.
I really liked Morgan Freeman.
Oh, I know you did.
And then go back to talking shit. Back to where they were before. Because Charlie could make that mistake and learn from it. Because Charlie's a nice guy.
Do these acts of cruelty surprise you? They shouldn't. After all, it happens every single day. The definitions of different types of masculinity are ever expanding. You think you know what's what, and then a new thing appears, and you're back to square one. Exhausting, isn't it? But don't worry, we've got no more to share. Although, your tour through the bargain bin of the patriarchy isn't over quite yet.
I'm sitting on a campsite waiting for my mum and dad to work out the scenic route to a lake, or a hill, or a lake up a hill, or something. And I'm watching this man and a woman in another pitch, putting all their stuff together, organising all their shit and getting ready to leave the site. They've got one of those massive motorbikes and a ton of equipment laid out on the ground ready to be packed away. They've clearly done this routine loads of times before. They're both set to work by putting things in bags and strapping them together and then attaching them to the bike. In less than half an hour, everything's been put away and they're ready to leave the site. They zip into their leathers and put on their crash helmets. I wait for him to touch the handlebars, and I wait for her to perch herself on the seat behind him. They do precisely that before zooming off. 1st of October 2012, a 5-year-old girl is declared missing from her home in a small village in mid-Wales. 2 days later, a mother makes an appeal on national television, asking for anyone with any information on the whereabouts of her daughter to contact police. In the following days, police search and rescue scour the local area for any signs of the missing child. Hundreds of people from the same area join in the search. Hundreds of people from the local area join in the search. On the 5th of October 2012, the police spokesperson announces that the case has become a murder inquiry. The 14-year-old me knows that the killer will be a man. On the 30th of May 2013, Mark Bridger is found guilty of the abduction and murder of April Jones.
I'm travelling towards the coast on a bank holiday weekend, and predictably the traffic on the road is heavy, but rarely do I get above 3rd gear. The line of vehicles in which I'm situated is constantly on the move, but it's a frustrating case of repeatedly speeding up and slowing down for what seems like hours on end. But in my wing mirror, I can see someone making slightly quicker progress. Several hundred yards behind me is a car weaving in and out of the line of vehicles, taking every opportunity of a gap in the flow of incoming traffic. The driver is engaged in a series of overtaking manoeuvres, leapfrogging 2 or 3 vehicles at a time. Some of the other drivers are clearly less than impressed by the actions of this road user. 2 or 3 have already flashed their headlights in annoyance at having to provide refuge from the prospect of a head-on collision. Eventually it gets to my turn to be overtaken. I glance sideways as the car races past, knowing that I'll see a man behind the wheel. But I don't. Instead, it's a young woman, eyes fixed forward, singing away to something on the radio.
See, this isn't some inbuilt flaw in masculinity. This is not genetic, this is cultural. It is learnt and taught and reinforced by every motherfucking one of us. Men, you can't live with them. You can't live without them. And they will fuck up. Whether they like it or not, whether they believe it or not. These stupid sods are already responsible for bullying and belittling women for their own entertainment. Casually sharing photos of sharing explicit photos of women for their own entertainment as if they've never heard of fucking GDPR. I mean, seriously, guys. Written permission and photo consent. You must be getting those emails. They don't need your sympathy. These nice guys. And we're back to where we started. You can go for a wee in a minute. You can get yourself a much needed drink. And when you find yourself with a glass or mug in your hand, do me a favour and raise a toast to all the good men in the world. Wonderful, kind, noble, caring, brilliant men. Men who didn't make it into the show because they're not the problem. Men who will stand shoulder to shoulder with powerful women to make this world a more equal place. And finally, it might be presumptuous for little old me to offer a bit of advice to a room full of people who I know little to nothing about. People who have been kind enough to support young theatre makers at the outing of their new show. But if in this hour it has opened a door in your mind, then perhaps I can sneak through and say one last thing for you to agree or disagree with. Don't settle for good enough. Be the best you can be, or at the very least, be better. Thank you.